I think that they're pretty much, it won't be wrong to say that they are the backbone of the organization because, the leaders technically tend to give direction. They tend to challenge, they tend to give the vision to the organization and what we popularly call strategy. But the actual translation of that strategy rests with these middle managers because they are the ones who would actually be able to translate that strategy into kind of meaningfully decipher for people of what does it mean for my day-to-day work. They are the ones who would actually then create those KRAs and actually be able to drive whatever we need to do as building blocks so that largely the strategy is met. What is also important is because they are closest to the front line, they are also a key element into defining whether it'll act, whether any change initiative or any initiative for that matter will actually be a success, or at least what will be the pace of that change. Because these are the people who are able to create that psychological safety, or in a way be able to define what is that safe environment or what is in it for me if I'm an individual contributor were I to adopt these new ways of doing things. And particularly now, in the pandemic, one thing that it's taught us is that there is a lot of ambiguity, and we do need a lot of agility to change and rechange and keep changing and be okay with it. So it is this manager who's able to bring in that emotional stability in the team, if you may, so that at least the team is more encouraged and willing to try new things. Also, be settled emotionally that, if I were to do this, what is in it for me? Is there a consequence? What kind of consequence if I do it or if I don't do it, both ways? So it's very important. This middle manager level is extremely important because whenever leaders would like to communicate something, it needs to be communicated to this layer in such effect that they're actually able to amplify that message to the larger organization. Plus, they also put a face to the message because, while your CEO will come and do a town hall or your function head will talk, it'll be a one to many message. But it is this middle manager who would generally have a large team and therefore have a face to that message. And therefore, that embodiment of what that really means is much, much stronger. So that clearly the first tenet would be that how do you translate this strategy and take it to the level at frontline. The second most important thing is that the manager tends to act as a bridge between the people at the front line and the leader. And I was reading this interesting quote the other day which said that if you really need product innovation or process innovation, there are two people who can contribute the maximum to it, either your customer or your employee. So, and it is this mid-level manager who is the closest to the employee as well as to the customer because he is the one who's the first level escalation. So not only will he hear the bad news first, he will also be hearing the good news because when your customers are saying something, he's the one who's the first person who receives it. So it's really important to invest in this capability layer because they are the ones who are bringing in all this information and relaying it upwards, and they're actually acting like a filter. So you don't want them to filter out everything. You want them to use judgment, prudence to be able to see what is it that they're relaying upward. So on one end, they are important for top-down information. On the other end, they are equally important for upward information. So both the information cascade, they are absolutely critical.